Is you're going to fill in these yellow boxes. I'm going to help you out with 3 of them, and it's going to be your job to fill out the other 2. But you're trying to think of good reasons to start a revolution, because in this unit you're going to be deciding if our uh, if the people who fought in the revolution were patriots or if they committed treason. So revolution is 2 things. One, it's overthrowing a government, or it's overthrowing a societal order for a new system. So there's a lot of different types of a revolution, but it's just basically causing a massive change. Um, so I'm going to give you guys some common things that students have told me in the past. A lot of students say Second Amendment rights. And if you guys need to make the boxes bigger or something like that, you're more than welcome to. Okay? And you can change the size of the font. You can even change the color of the font. Another thing that students say is, I hear this all the time, is lack of rights or freedoms. Okay, that's a pretty easy one. That might be a good reason to overthrow the government. If you don't have any rights or freedoms, it's definitely a good reason to overthrow your government. And then I'm going to do this one up here. So another possible reason is you could say religious freedoms. This is part of the reason I wanted to do this one, because I knew it was going to be large type because it was a title box originally. Okay. That one went behind the picture a little bit. So religious freedoms. I'm going to move that up here. So now you just have to come up with 2 other reasons why you might want societal change, or why you might want to overthrow a government. Okay, it doesn't have to be our government, just, like why someone in particular would start a revolution. And if you know anything about the American Revolution, you can definitely use the reasons why we started our own revolution. So then what you're going to do is you're going to create a meme. You can create a meme based off one of your 5 ideas, or you can create a meme based off of another idea. But I'm going to bring up some potential massive changes in society or government or whatever. And these might be reasons to revolt. Okay. So you're going to use one of these meme generators, or you could make a GIF. The GIF is a little bit more challenging. You don't have to use the meme generators that I gave you. If you find one that works better on your end, you can. The big thing is it has to be your own meme. It has to be original. You can't just find it on the internet and use it. Okay? If I find that you did that, then you will get a 0 on this project. Okay? So I'm bringing up the Supreme Court justices because this lady right here recently passed away. And so Trump's going to probably end up replacing her before the next election. And if he were to lose the election, that would be a really big deal, because they blocked Obama from putting a new judge on the court in his last term. So this judge right here, they held Obama's pick, and then this was Trump's first placement on the Supreme Court, and then this was his second placement on the Supreme Court. So when they put in a new judge, we'll have 6 conservative justices on the court. So what the Democrats are saying is that then they're going to do a total reform on the Supreme Court. So they're saying instead of having 9 justices, they're going to add, 4 more justices or whatever. And then they could make the court liberal again, or, so basically, the Democrats are threatening, we're going to do a total reform on the Supreme Court if you replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Who knows if they'll actually be able to do that? I mean, one, they would have to win the presidential election and then gain control of the Senate. Now, this might be too big of an issue for you to deal with, but I just wanted to let you know that this is a potential huge reform. Climate change. If we wanted, if the government or world wanted to combat climate change, this would cause massive social and government reforms. It wouldn't be like we would go from being a republic to a monarchy or something like that. But like, for example, if you learned anything about the Green New Deal, I mean, that creates massive changes, or maybe businesses might change. Maybe everybody will go to electric vehicles or whatever. But like, this could be a massive area for revolution or reform. This has always been an issue, even when it was illegal. I'm not gonna go into the details of it, but if you guys want to do this for your meme, you can. But this would be make abortion illegal. This would keep it legal. Definitely, abortion is at the heart of the Supreme Court issues right now, because with taking her off the court and having 6 conservative judges, they could potentially make abortion illegal. So that's really kind of like the underhanded issue with the Supreme Court right now. Voting. You guys could do a voting rights one. You could have a revolution because they take your voting rights away. You could just pretend that you don't have voting rights. You could make it related to the American government. There's people that say they're going to revolt if Trump doesn't get reelected. There's people that say that they're going to revolt if he does get reelected. So you can make it aligned with our current election that's coming up in November. Second Amendment. Like I said, kids always bring up Second Amendment rights. They always say, like, when a Democrat gets elected, that they're going to take away your Second Amendment rights or limit your Second Amendment rights. And really, nothing ever happens when it comes to Second Amendment rights. I mean, it's a pretty big cornerstone in the Constitution. The only thing that happens is, like, when they elect let's say Joe Biden wins the presidency, gun businesses will get better sales. And then when they elect a Republican, they can't sell as much. So, like, when Obama was president, when my husband would go find, I can't remember, I think it was like a gun, he was trying to get bullets for his 22 or whatever, and they were just always out. But, like, when Trump became president, like, he had no issue finding them. So gun sales are affected by who's in office. But you could pretend that a government takes away gun rights and people revolt as a result. That could be your meme if you want. LGBTQ issues. So you could do a whole bunch of issues on this. Just any inequality that you think LGBTQ people have. You could focus on the restroom issue. You could focus on recognizing different genders, equality in the classrooms and social life. There's a whole plethora of stuff. If you know anything about this, you could definitely have a social revolution with LGBTQ information. Religion. You could pretend that you live in a society that only lets you be one religion, or doesn't let you have religion at all. Like, if we were a communist nation, you wouldn't even have a religion. Or you could pretend that we force you to be Catholic or whatever. There have been places like in Vietnam during the Vietnam War. They banned all religions but Catholicism. So, like, Buddhist monks burnt themselves as a protest. So they were definitely revolting against their government during that time. So that's an easy thing. America, we have religious freedom. Of course, we have issues when it comes to different religion and acceptance and all this kind of stuff. But this isn't really like a big issue in America for most people. Taxes. You could pretend that the government's taxing you too much or too, well, nobody's going to protest over getting taxed too little because, you have more money in your pocket. Why would you? But you could just pretend that, the government takes like 70% of your income or something like that, and that you're going to overthrow the government so that way you can get your paycheck and all this stuff. And this is really at the heart of our American Revolution. If the British didn't tax us like crazy mad people, we probably wouldn't have revolted, and we would have just stuck with the king and queen and all of that stuff. So Americans at our heart and soul, we hate taxes. So, that's a pretty easy meme to do. Okay. You could do a Black Lives Matter meme. There's a huge social revolution for equality in the United States right now. If you're paying attention to stuff over the summer, you could do, there's a lot of issues with this related to equality. There was a lot of policing issues that they're bringing up. You guys can see right here, this guy wants to defund the police and have a complete revolutionary reform in the police industry and things like that. So if you know anything about that, you could definitely make a meme about that. Or you could do the opposite of it. Like you could do like a revolution to support the police, like to change people's mindset on the police and things like that. And so that way, you know, we didn't have like a movement against the police, or I don't know. There's things that you could definitely do with this, but this is kind of like the opposite view. Well, not necessarily the opposite view, but it's kind of another realm in that area. So this was my meme that I did. You guys have probably seen this meme 100 times, and I'll show you how I made it here pretty soon. So I have the government, I have debt, and then I have taxes. So like we have a massive debt problem right now. I'm going to show you our debt clock real quick. This is the United States debt. We have $26 trillion in debt and climbing. Kids are always like, why are the numbers going up? And it's just because that's our interest that's being collected. And right now it would take $81,000 per citizen. This is like babies and all to pay it off, or $214,000 per taxpayer. I do not have that much money in my bank account, nor will I don't know. I mean, I will probably save up that much money to retire, but heck, I don't want to give it to the government, you know. So when I was in high school, this $80,000 per citizen was only like $29,000 per citizen. And I remember thinking that that was a massive amount back then, and how I'm like, can we go back? But, and I graduated high school in 2003, so you guys weren't even around yet. But anyway, okay, so you're going to create your meme, and then after it, you have to explain it. So I'm asking you to write 3 to 4 sentences to explain it. And so my meme, my meme focused on the issue of taxes. That's a good starter sentence. Like you just say what your meme focused on. The government currently has $26 trillion in debt and counting. Meanwhile, American citizens are getting taxed a lot. In order to pay this debt, they will need to eventually increase taxes. The government does not seem to worry much about their ever-climbing debt that will need to be paid someday. And what's annoying about this is your generation and mine end up paying it off, not the people that are in charge right now. So I just gave you ideas. Feel free to come up with any of your own ideas on anything. Like, there's tons of reasons to start a revolution or have a huge social reform. Okay? So, with that being said, this is how you make your meme. First of all, you can upload your own image if you would want, or you can use a well-known meme. It's whatever you want. And this is Meme Generator 1. And I'm only going to show you how to use this. The rest of it you'll have to figure out. So this one's a pretty well known, the Change My Mind, and some of these could be inappropriate. So I want you to make sure that you don't upload anything inappropriate, or anything. When I've done memes in the past, this has been a really popular one. So it shows you, like when you type in different text boxes and things like that. This is Bernie Sanders. He wants a socialism reform. So he's saying, I'm once again asking, and if you wanted to make fun of Bernie, you could say free everything. And then down here you could say, oh wait, I'm once again asking to take all of your paycheck. Because free everything's never free, you know. It's gonna, like when he says free college, that's gonna be an increase in taxes somewhere. It just has to be. Or maybe like Bernie Sanders or whatever. Okay, so when it comes to taxes, you could leave free everything, and then you could say, I'm once again asking for your support for president. Something like that. I mean, it can be something really simple like that. But you just go through, there's popular, you can upload, and then you just type in your stuff, and then when you're done, you just simply screenshot your meme, and then you add it to your presentation. So on your end, because I'm on a computer, I always intend to do these on my iPad. But on your end, there's going to be a blank thing here for your meme. And then you just simply do your plus sign, and then you insert your image, and you upload it. And then you just need to explain it, and then you're done. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad assignment. It's just hard to come up with, like, what do you want to focus on and how can you explain it? And if you're not paying attention to current events or social issues or anything like that, it can be a little challenging. So the big thing is make it your own and don't copy off Google or you will get a 0. Okay? If you need help, just ask.